The Clockmakers Secret. In the quiet village of Elmsworth, nestled between misty hills and ancient forests, there lived an old clockmaker named Elias Fern. His workshop, a crooked little building on the edge of town, was filled with ticking clocks of every size and style, grandfather clocks with golden faces, tiny pocket watches with silver chains, and curious timepieces that seemed to tick forward and backward all at once. Elias was a solitary man, known for his precision and his peculiar ways. He rarely spoke, except to his cat, Marlowe, or to the children who sometimes wandered into his shop, mesmerized by the endless ticking. But there was one thing no one knew: Elias Fern could fix more than just broken timepieces, he could fix time itself. It had begun many years ago, when he found an ancient, rusted pocket watch buried beneath the roots of an oak tree in the forest. Inside the watch was a strange mechanism, one he'd never seen before. After years of study, Elias discovered that by adjusting the gears in a certain sequence, he could step backward in time for exactly 10 minutes. At first, he used it only for small things, to avoid spilling tea on his blueprints or to stop Marlowe from knocking over a tray of tools. But over the years, the temptation to do more grew stronger. One bitter winter evening, as snow fell silently over Elmsworth, a young girl named Clara burst into his shop. Her eyes were red from crying, and her hands trembled as she held out a broken pocket watch. "My brother is lost in the woods," she said. "He went out hours ago and hasn't come back." This was his. Elias took the watch gently. Something about Clara's voice, the fear in her eyes, stirred something deep inside him. He nodded once, then closed the door behind him. In the privacy of his workshop, he wound the ancient timepiece and turned the gears. The room shimmered. The clock stopped. Time shifted. Elias was back. 10 minutes before the boy had entered the woods. He sprinted through the snow, guided by instinct and the quiet ticking of the magical watch. He found the boy near the river, frightened but unharmed, caught between two branches of a fallen tree. With a strength he didn't know he had, Elias pulled the boy free and led him home. Then, before anyone could ask questions, he vanished into the woods and rewound time once more, returning to his shop before the girl had even arrived. When Clara finally opened the door, her brother was with her. "He just showed up at the edge of the woods," she said, astonished. "He doesn't remember how he got out." Elias only smiled and handed her the repaired watch. From that day on, Clara and her brother visited often. Elias taught them how to fix clocks, how to listen to the rhythm of gears, and how to be patient with time. But he never spoke of the magic watch again. Some things, he believed, were better left ticking quietly in the background. And so, in the little village of Elmsworth, where snow falls gently in winter and clocks tick endlessly, the secret of time lived on, hidden in a dusty workshop, in the hands of a quiet clockmaker, and in the hearts of two children who knew that time, like kindness, could be mended. The Whispering Forest. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by mountains and thick woods, there lived a curious 14-year-old girl named Alara. Unlike most children in her village, Alara wasn't afraid of the dark forest that bordered their homes. In fact, she felt drawn to it. Her grandmother often warned her, "The forest whispers secrets that are best left unheard." But Alara was no ordinary girl. Her mother had vanished in that forest 10 years ago, and no one had dared to search for her. The village believed she had been taken by the spirits that haunted the ancient trees. Alara, however, believed her mother was still alive. One misty morning, just as the sun began to rise, Alara packed a small bag with bread, dried fruits, a flask of water, and her mother's old pendant. Slipping quietly from her house, she stepped into the forest, her heart pounding with fear and excitement. The forest was unlike anything she had imagined. It was alive. The trees moved slightly, even though there was no wind. Strange lights flickered in the distance. And there were whispers, not clear words, but voices that seemed to hum with ancient knowledge. As she walked deeper, she encountered a fox with silver fur and glowing blue eyes. It didn't run away. Instead, it sat and stared at her. Then it spoke. "You carry the pendant of Lyra. You seek the lost." Alara was stunned. "You know my mother?" The fox nodded. "Follow me." For hours, they walked together. The forest grew darker, and the trees more twisted. They reached a hidden glade where a giant oak stood at the center, glowing faintly. The fox stopped and bowed its head. "This is the heart tree," it said. "Touch it with the pendant." Alara held the pendant in her trembling hand and touched the bark. Instantly, a pulse of energy rushed through her, and the world around her shimmered. She was no longer in the forest but in a realm of light and shadow, where spirits danced and memories lived. There, she saw her mother, unchanged, still young, trapped within a crystal cage. "Alara," her mother whispered. "You found me." Tears filled Alara's eyes. "I'll get you out." But a voice echoed around her. "Only a child of true courage can break the seal. Sacrifice is the key." The fox appeared again, now taller and more regal, like a spirit guardian. "To free her, you must take her place." Alara hesitated. She was only 14. She had her life ahead of her. But her mother had sacrificed everything to protect her. Slowly, she stepped forward. "I accept." As she touched the cage, light enveloped her. Her mother was released, and Alara found herself inside the crystal. But something unexpected happened. The pendant glowed brighter than ever, and the crystal cracked. The forest had recognized her bravery. Instead of being trapped, Alara was transformed. She became the guardian of the forest, a bridge between the human and spirit worlds. When her mother returned to the village, she told the tale of her daughter's courage. The forest no longer whispered warnings, it sang songs of Alara's sacrifice. And sometimes, if you walk near the forest's edge on a quiet evening, you can hear a girl's laughter among the trees, Alara, forever watching over the world she saved.